this love in this heart of mine. You whisper to me, hold me tight. You're the one I thought I'd never find. And now we're slow dancing, swaying to the music. Slow dancing, just me and my girl. Slow dancing, swaying to the music. No one else in the whole wide world. Slow dancing, swaying to the music. Slow dancing, just me and my girl. Slow dancing, swaying to the music. No one else in the whole wide world. Whole wide world.
Johnny Rivers swaying to the music. Cincinnati's Oldies Network is WDJO. Good morning, I'm Jeff Davis. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock with Carmen De Leon on Sunday Morning Music Call, brought to you by the Mount Adams Bar and Grill and the Blind Lemon. Check it out every Sunday morning from 9 to 11 here at WDJO.
The Temptations, live. And on the same show, iconic music legends, the Righteous Brothers. Blue Eyed Soul meets Motor City Soul. Saturday, June 25th, Rose Music Center at the Heights. The Temptations and the Righteous Brothers together live. Reserve seats on sale now at Ticketmaster.com and RoseMusicCenter.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-632-4055 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-632-4055. That's 800-632-4055. What do you have to lose? Call 800-632-4055. Again, 800-632-4055.
This is Don Scheider with Senior Healthcare Brokerage. Are you turning 65 this year and confused about Medicare? You are not alone. Give me a call. I'll sit down with you in person and explain exactly how Medicare works, what it pays for and what it doesn't. Then I'll show you some additional coverage you can get for yourself that'll fill in the gaps for what Medicare does not take care of. I'm licensed with all the major carriers, and there is never a fee to work with me. Call me today, 513-227-0972. That's 513-227-0972.
WDJO, Cincinnati. WDJO Cincinnati.
The following is a paid program. Its views and opinions are not necessarily those of this station or its management.
Good morning, and welcome to the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour starring Gary Rossignol of Remax Preferred Group. To be part of the program, dial 513-563-1480 to get your answers to questions about your home and property. That number again, 513-563-1480. Now, here's Gary.
It's April the 9th. Guess what? It's National Name Yourself Day. I looked it up. It's a for real national holiday. Can you believe that? That's pretty wild. So, I'm called Mr. Rock and Roll. Who are you today? But if you're a boater or a camper, you are in for a really good morning. Besides having fun with music and a chance to win prizes, we will compare today's real estate market with the boat and RV world. It's really, really crazy out there, and many homeowners have one or both, a boat and or a camper. So stay right here with us because my special guest is the regional sales executive with Pop Yachts and RVs, Mr. Chad Detmer. Hey, morning, Chad. Say it again.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, Gary.
There you go.
It.
All right. We got you wired up now. It's crazy coming in here doing live radio on Saturday mornings. You got like 10 minutes to put all this together. It's like doing a live performance.
It is. It is. It's fun, though. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely, yeah. I worked in recording studios, and it was okay. You can get creative, but I like the excitement of getting there 2 hours before the gig, setting everything up, wiring it in, and hoping everything works. And then when you get that strange ground loop where you got a buzz in the bass amp, and it's like, oh, we got to get rid of that. It's fun. So let's start things off, and we're going to give away some nice prizes. How about a $10 gift card to Starbucks?
All right.
We got a couple of them to give away, and this is going to be a trivia music Who Am I? And if you haven't won in the past 60 days, then you can qualify and win today. If you answer this question, just call us at 513-563-1480. And here's the question. I am the original rockabilly American singer-songwriter that in 1955 wrote and recorded a hit made famous a year later by Elvis Presley. Blue Suede Shoes. Who am I? Everybody knows that song by Elvis Presley. They don't know who originally wrote it and who recorded it. Sounds just like Elvis. It's a strange amount of events why Elvis ended up recording it and becoming real famous with it. But, Paul McCartney said if it weren't for this gentleman, there would be no Beatles.
Really?
That's huge.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Huge statement. George Harrison and Eric Clapton, they tailored their guitar playing after this man.
I'm a big Eric Clapton fan.
Me too. But I was watching a concert with this guy, George Harrison, Eric Clapton, and Ringo Starr. And it was an amazing live concert. It's like 25 minutes long, and it's huge. George Harrison looks at this guy with big old smile on his face, just loves the guy. It's great.
Absolutely. It's always nice to see an artist practice their craft.
Oh, man. And performing it and enjoying it. You bet, yeah. So, Chad, we were talking, and I got to bring this up. I asked you, what kind of boat do you have? You have the best boat in the world.
Exactly. I have the best kind of boat in the world. I have a friend boat. I have 3 friends with boats, but I am a very good deckhand, I've been told.
There you go. All right. So, and the big question today is, what's the difference between a yacht and a boat?
Yeah, and that is a very complex answer, to be honest. But around here, for practical purposes, boats are pleasure boats, and they are rated by the amount of the number of passengers and or weight. So it would say 10 people or 1,700 pounds. A yacht around here can be a smaller boat, but that number of passengers is eliminated. It becomes the captain's discretion.
Oh.
In both cases, you absolutely have to have Coast Guard approved life vests for everyone on your vessel.
Mm-hmm. So you could have a 30-foot boat and put 20 people in it and call it a yacht.
Exactly. There is a certification. For example, my one friend has a 28-foot boat that is yacht certified. So we are not capped by how many people we can have on it. Huh. It's the captain's discretion and the weight limit of the boat at that point. So it could be 10 small children or 2 of the offensive linemen from the Bengals.
I like that answer. That's pretty cool. All right. So I do have a friend who just got a boat, and his question was, I'm not too far above the towing limit of my vehicle. As long as I'm careful, I'll be fine.
That is a common misconception. And what a lot of people fail to account for is it's not very difficult to get weight moving down the road. Your vehicle will probably be able to get way more than it's rated for moving down the road. It's getting it stopped and the safety behind that. So please pay attention to your towing limits on your vehicle and do not exceed them with your boat or your RV.
Yeah. When I learned to drive a tractor trailer many years ago, and the gentleman teaching me says, whatever you do, don't hit the brakes. You want to pull this trailer brake lever first. You want to slow it down that way. Otherwise, you're going to jackknife your
Absolutely.
rig.
It can be. There is all kinds of stories out there of people that were improperly towing, and it is dangerous not only for you, you're dangerous for all the other vehicles around you.
Now, and we hear this term, but no one has really explained what's a fifth wheel.
Fifth wheel. There's two different campers, we'll call them, and there's a difference between a camper and an RV. But the fifth wheel trailer is the one that has the slide very similar to a tractor trailer that mounts in the bed of the pickup and has the cab over the top of the bed of the pickup, where a bumper pole travel trailer is the one that hooks to the bumper of your vehicle.
Gotcha. So speaking of campers, and I know the company that you are sales executive for is Pop Yachts and RVs.
That is correct.
Is there a difference between an RV and a camper?
Yes. RVs are typically motorized recreational vehicles, and they come in different classes. Class A is the traditional bus-looking one. Class B is usually a converted van. The Mercedes Dodge Sprinter platform is a great Class B one now. And Class C are more like the box trucks that you see with the van front end and the camper built off the back.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. So yeah, I have. Let's see. I have several friends that have boats. My daughter Steph and son-in-law Matt, they have a boat, and 4 of my cousins and many other friends have campers or RVs. I guess 2 of my friends have campers because they're the kind that you pull behind their pickup truck with a pop-up type thing.
Yep.
And but then all my cousins, they have the big RVs with the bedroom, the shower, they can live in it for weeks at a time.
It is amazing, some of the RVs that are out there. And you mentioned full timing it. That is becoming a very popular thing. As a matter of fact, I delivered a little Class B Sprinter van to a gentleman out of Michigan yesterday that is beginning van life on the road.
I had a friend that moved into Westchester many, many years ago, and he traveled. His business took him anywhere. And they sold their house in New Jersey and bought a big RV, and they just traveled the country, him and his wife and 2 children, and she homeschooled them. So if they were in the Rocky Mountains or wherever, that's where their history and geography lessons would be. And and they studied the world traveling the country.
I had a former coworker do that with his family during the pandemic and followed them on Facebook and Twitter, and it was just incredible to see. You're living the history lessons that you would have normally gotten in a classroom environment. It was incredible to watch.
Yeah, there was a band right out of Covington, Kentucky. They were called the Newbies, and they had a studio. And when the pandemic hit, of course, their business dried up, and they were doing live performances and studio work. So they bought a van with a trailer, and they put their studio in there, and they hit the road, and they did blog posts, video blogs called A Band in a Van. And they traveled all over, and they would go into meet local musicians in studios, and they'd do performances. They had a drone, and they'd do a lot of their own production work of their video. It was really cool. You can look it up. A Band and a Van. YouTube it.
I will
It's
definitely
pretty
have to
cool.
look that one up. I like those types of adventure things that people are out doing. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, they got him playing his guitars, doing their latest song while she's driving, and they got their cameraman. They're going down the road, and he's singing and picking their latest. They do a lot of original material, and it was really cool. I thought that was just neat. A band in a van.
I will have to check that out.
Yeah. So how does all this wrap into real? This is the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour.
Absolutely.
People, we're talking about boats and RVs and campers and yachts, and they're going, what's this got to do with me? Well, if you are a homeowner, guess what? You probably have one of those summertime toys. All my friends have either a boat or a camper or RV they probably don't know they got a yacht, but they're going. My one friend just sold his 28-foot boat. He's going for a bigger one now, and bigger's better.
Absolutely. There are quite a few people that are on the Jaws theme of we're going to need a bigger boat.
We're talking about you, Con. He may be listening in and chuckling right now, but the real estate market is red hot. I mean, if you have, and I have seen, I had a buyer who was going to be looking at a house actually yesterday in Mason, and they begged out because it was priced near the top of their limits at $350, and the report that I did for them showed that the market value for the house was $375, $380, and I know it's going to get $400, and they had like 45 showings scheduled in 2 days. They're going to have a couple dozen offers.
Absolutely,
and that's just the way. And some homes that are not that updated are you put them on the market, you price it reasonable, it's going to sell in 24 hours. It's crazy.
It is. We've talked on numerous occasions about that, and it's amazing to see how quickly and how hot the market remains in real estate right now.
We got to shout out to Clayton and Angel Hicks.
Absolutely.
And that's where we met at 8-7.
Yeah, absolutely.
8-7 is a great networking group, and they do some phenomenal introductions of various different small to medium to large business representatives, and allows you to learn about each other. And that's how I meet a lot of my folks, my flooring folks, my painting folks, and the list goes on, my home inspection, it goes on and on. But thank you, Clayton. Thank you, Angel, for making that happen for us. So let's see, the boat and RV markets, like the housing market, you put it up for sale, and someone is sure to buy it at the price I want.
Yes. Well,
is that true?
Not always. And it's interesting because we've discussed the parallels that we are not dealers. There is a distinct difference between a dealer and a broker.
Okay.
So your listenership is very familiar with the real estate model. We have applied that to boats and RVs with contingent offers, inspections, surveys, and all those things. But what we're finding in the market right now is early in March, a lot of the buyers did hit their pause button and kind of figured out what was going on and where their financial situation was going to be. The buyers that are returning to the market now are the serious buyers, the ones that have made the commitment to do that. And they're looking for value. And in this particular case, it's not always your credit to get approved to a loan. The lenders are much more sensitive on the age, the type, and the condition of the boat or RV, because a lot of times they don't want to use that as the asset to secure the loan.
Oh, sure. And same way with the real estate market. You may be approved to purchase a home for, $400,000 or $500,000, but you look at a house that's listed for $375,000, and the market value for the house might be $375,000 or so. If you offer $400,000 and you get it at $400,000, then the appraiser is going to come in. They're going, no. They're very conservative. The appraiser does not work for the buyer, does not work for the realtors, it does not work for the seller. The appraiser is to protect the lender's interest.
Absolutely.
And if he signs off on a house at $400,000 and market value is really only $375,000, the bank's going to take the hit. They can't loan more than what the house is really worth, and they go by past experience of the neighborhood. So you're probably doing the same thing.
Yes, we are.
The Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour is brought to you today by Pop Yachts and RVs, Mr. Chad Detmer, and his phone number is 513-295-8278. If you are a homeowner and you want to have some summertime toys and have fun and catch up with your friends and family, call him today. He can really help you out. I would like to express my gratitude to all our troops and veterans, the first responders and our heroes in service and healthcare. That would be the nurses and doctors, nurses' aides, and healthcare staff, the EMT staff, our police and firefighters. So often they deal with life and death situations, and especially during this pandemic. Thank them and keep them in your thoughts and prayers. We're going for our first break, then a moment with Miles, and Chad and I are going to discuss some common safety measures with boats and campers. You're listening to the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour on 1480 WDJO, now on FM 99.5 and 107.9.
Don't bother knocking, yeah, the house is a rockin'. Don't bother knocking, yeah, the house is a rockin'. Don't you bother, come on in.
Pop offers buyers and sellers an alternative to a private or dealer sale or purchase of RVs and boats. Pop can get competitive prices for RVs and boats versus a fraction of that on a dealer trade-in. Pop cultivates and maintains an active buyer and seller community so they can potentially deliver multiple buyers and sellers. Pop currently has over 5,000 boats and RVs available for sale throughout the U.S. Pop assists their sellers with transactional details around titles, taxes, and sales-related documents. Pop can also provide recommendations for funding sources in the RV and boat industry. If buying or selling a boat or RV is in your plans, contact Chad Detmer today at Pop Yachts and RVs at 513-295-8278. That's 513-295-8278. Or visit poprvs.com or popyachts.com. That's poprvs.com or popyachts.com.
MEMI presents Mickey Dolenz Celebrates the Monkees.
I'm a believer, I couldn't leave her if I tried.
Live at the Andrew J. Brady Music Center, Saturday, April 9th. Hear all of the Monkees' greatest hits, performed by the legendary singer.
Another Pleasant Valley Sunday.
Tickets are available now at Ticketmaster.com. Mickey Dolenz Celebrates the Monkees. Live at the Andrew J. Brady Music Center, Saturday, April 9th.
Are you looking for a taste of New Orleans? Then come to Brew River Creole Kitchen. Under the tutelage of Emeril Lagasse, our executive chef Michael Shields has learned the secrets of New Orleans cooking and prepares this area's authentic, locally sourced, made-from-scratch Creole cuisine. Are you planning an event? Brew River can accommodate private parties from 15 to 85, including restaurant rental for 200 guests, making Brew River ideal for small to large special events. Something new at Brew River is a wine retail center. Stop by, pick up a bottle of small production boutique wine by the bottle. Many of these selections are very limited and not widely available. Brew River also has brought back Wine Wednesday, with half price on all small production wine by the bottle. For great live entertainment and a taste of New Orleans every Wednesday through Saturday, along with Saturday lunch and Sunday brunch. Make it Brew River Creole Kitchen at Eastern Avenue and online at brewrivercreolekitchen.com.
DQ presents. Picture this. You stand before the awe-inspiring new signature stack burger menu at DQ and your mouth wonders, where have you been all my life? That's 5 taste bud tempting cheeseburgers with 100% real seasoned beef. You peek at the loaded A1 stack burger with 2 premium sauces. Then the flamethrower stack burger with tongue-tingling jalapeno bacon. Then you realize moments like these are exactly why we have the DQ signature stack burger menu. DQ. Happy tastes good. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
Oh, get on. Let's rock the house.
Hey, thanks for listening and also watching on Facebook. Now we're on LinkedIn and Twitter as well. I'm Gary Rossignol, certified residential specialist with RE/MAX Preferred Group, and I'm better known as Cincinnati's rock and roll realtor. But right now, this is the moment I've been waiting for. This is the captain of our ship, Mr. Miles Beersford. He is broker owner of the RE/MAX Preferred Group. And he comes on every Saturday morning with his moment, which is usually interesting, sometimes funny, and very good information. Good morning, Miles.
Hey, Jerry, rock and roll, my friend.
We are.
Hey, very interesting guest this week. I'll have to meet Chad someday.
Yeah.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
But on another subject, this past week, home loan rates touched the highest levels in 3 years in response to inflation fears and forthcoming Fed rate hikes. Next week, there are important readings on inflation as both the Consumer Price Index and Producer Price Index are announced. If these reports show hotter month-over-month price gains, interest rates may move higher still. If you are considering purchasing a home and will require a mortgage, now is an ideal time to lock in your rate and spending a lot of time with your realtor. And that's this morning's Moment with Miles.
Thanks, Miles. And Miles and Christine Beersford, they are the owners of RE/MAX Preferred Group, the largest RE/MAX brokerage in the state of Ohio. And they are also sailors. They have a sailboat down in Florida.
There's nothing like being on a sailboat.
And we'll talk about the difference between a sailboat and twin-engine boats and all that stuff later on in the show. But thank you, Miles. And I'm so happy and pleased to be part of RE/MAX Preferred Group. And the numbers came out this week. I made the top 10 of RE/MAX Preferred Group for the month of March. Yeah, that was kind of cool. So just good hard work and good leadership by Miles and Christine. I get calls every week, 2 or 3 a week, and emails and texts, call us, we got a better deal for you. You can blah, blah. No. I'm here to stay. I am not moving. You can't offer me any better deal than what I'm getting right now because I have Miles in my corner, and he calls in every Saturday, and they listen attentively, and they back everything I try and do. So I'm so happy about that.
Very good.
Next week, my guest is Chris Cox. He's the owner of Al's Comfort Technologies. He's a hoot. He's also a musician, a drummer. Later during the show, we're going to visit with Bill Kerrigan of the Dragonfly Foundation. And I'd like to shout out and just say hi to some of my loyal listeners. I know Carol from South Lebanon. She's on Facebook right now. We got Felicia and Leah Crane and Richard Cox. Don Parks and Jane Reel, Jane Bansfield, my family. And also all the many realtor friends that tune in or watch every week. Thank you very much. If you have a question for us this morning, give us a call at 513-563-1480. And we have not had a winner for the trivia question. Who originally wrote and recorded the song Blue Suede Shoes? You can Google it. It's very, very easy. Paul McCartney said, if it wasn't for this gentleman, there would be no Beatles. Now, that's a huge statement.
That is a huge statement if you think about the downflow impact that would have had with no Beatles.
And if you don't know who this is, you need to know because he influenced a lot of major Elvis Presley, the Beatles, you name it. There's just tons of artists out there that have recorded his songs. So anyhow. So, Chad, summer's just right around the corner, and it's time to get out those summer toys, your boats or yachts, your RVs or campers. Boats and RVs, they need to be licensed, don't they?
They absolutely do. And the common misconception in the state of Ohio, anyway, is boat trailers also need to be registered
separately
than your boat. And Ohio does not title trailers under 4,000 pounds, so you basically have to take your boat trailer there without the boat on it.
Okay, all right.
Get it weighed, and then you get your license and your registration and tags for your trailer, in addition to your boat and personal watercrafts. Sea-Doos, the little Sea-Doos and stuff also need to be registered as personal watercraft in the state of Ohio.
I got a friend, Tim. He has a pair of Sea-Doos, and he's got a boat, and he says, they got to be licensed. You got to follow the rules. Now, my daughter and son-in-law, Steph and Matt, they take their boat down to a lake in Kentucky. Mm-hmm. And my friend Con and Dan and all those folks, they go to Indiana.
Okay.
In fact, they love it in Indiana, that one lake in Indiana.
We are frequently on Brookville Lake.
Brookville, that's it, yeah. It's a big lake.
Absolutely. It's a lot of fun.
In fact, he would love to just find some land and build a house and live right there in Brookville Lake. So if anybody out there knows anybody selling a house in Brookville, let me know. I've got somebody that chomping on the bit. We've tried several times to get him over in Brookville, and he's settled up. He's ended up buying right here in Westchester. So anyhow, but that's not his last stop. His goal is Brookville, Indiana. So now my brokers, Miles and Chris, they've got a large sailboat in Florida. Now that's a whole different.
Yes, being a boat owner and being a sailboat owner are two completely different things. Sailboaters are very knowledgeable in their craft, and you have to be. You are relying primarily on Mother Nature to move you around and navigate. You get the kicker motor to get you out of the harbor and stuff, but there is nothing like when they shut all the engines down, the sails get hoisted, and you're going across a body of water with absolutely no sound other than the wind and the sails. It's an incredible experience.
That's he tries to describe that, and I can't fathom it. But speaking of motors, I had a friend of mine, and he called. He says, "Ask Chad." I said, "We'll call," and he says, "No." He says, "Just go ahead and ask him." But he said, "If I get a boat with two engines, it's going to go twice as fast, right?"
Absolutely not. Twin engine boats are there for reasons. A lot of it has to do with the weight, and the second motor is going to help you get what they call out of the hole and on plane, where your boat is moving through the water smoothly. With two engines, that's an easier task, depending on the weight of the boat. You also have the reliability if you are out on like Lake Erie or something like that.
Oh, okay.
And you lose a motor, you still have one more to get back into shore.
That's a good point. Yeah, I relate to that with you don't want to have to get the oars out and oar yourself back in the dock. It's like when we set up our sound system. Well, people think that we put up twice the sound. Twice the amount of speakers and amplifiers, we're going to be twice as loud. Well, that isn't necessarily true. You will be a little louder, but when you double your speakers and your amperage power, you only gain a total of 3 decibels.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah,
I would have thought it would be way higher than that.
Oh, no, 3 decibels. So if you double that again, now you're going to gain 6 decibels. But 3 and 6, that's a lot of sound, and it depends on how the speakers move and the amp. It get. I could do a whole show on that because I studied sound system engineering.
It's the science behind it, yes.
Yeah, but today's technology is so efficient with the digital age and the array speakers and the development they have made with speakers. They can make them smaller, more compact, more powerful, and deliver a much better sound than ever before. I'm from the old analog age. But anyhow, so there are all recreational vehicles are part of home ownership, and it's about getting away and relaxing.
Yes.
And every homeowner needs to have an escape.
I would agree.
And so for me, I would only do an RV, no tents for me.
Okay. I can understand that.
Some people like to rough it out there, but not me.
Yep.
We did tent camping when my wife was pregnant with our second daughter. She was 7 months pregnant. She said, "Never again." I said, "Okay."
I do not blame her at all.
So we sold the tent and never went camping since then. My idea of camping is a Holiday Inn. Anyhow. Do you like the oldies? Tune in on Sunday nights at 7 o'clock for John Englehart and Sunday Soda Shop right here on WDJO. The Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour is brought to you today by Pop Yachts and RVs. Mr. Chad Detmer. Call him at 513-295-8278 or go to popyachts.com. If you don't have a summer toy, you need one. So give him a call this week. Don't touch that dial. I have my music history. Then Chad and I are going to talk about the best time to buy a boat or a camper or a yacht and RV. You're listening to the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour on WDJO 1480 AM, now on FM 995 and 107.9.
legend continues.
Tell me, when will you be mine?
The King of Romance, Engelbert Humperdinck, live in concert, performing all his timeless hits. Taft Theater, Friday, May 6th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com and the Taft Theater box office. There's more at Engelbert.com. One golden voice, 50 iconic years.
Are you faced with a big repair on your vehicle? I may have the solution. Hi, I'm Robert Nolan of John Nolan Auto Service. You won't have to worry about your ability to pay for your next repair with our 100-day, no-interest financing with Snap Finance. No credit, bad credit, never a problem, and most of all, no credit check. So if you're hearing strange noises coming from your transmission, that grinding noise is getting louder and louder, just call us at John Nolan Auto Service at 859-261-8833 and we'll guide you through the process. Peace of mind payments with Snap Finance is another reason more people have chosen to trust their vehicle repairs to John Nolan Auto Service. John Nolan Auto Service is conveniently located in Newport, Kentucky. Call us and set up your appointment at 859-261-8833 today.
We are the Debt Destroyer Network. Any debt you have, credit card, tax, student loan debt, call now for free information that helps you destroy your debt. It's great advice. Plus, when you make this free call now, we have Debt Destroyer experts ready to help. They can show you how to destroy your debt and get your life back on track. Debt problems don't have to be overwhelming. You can live stress-free and debt-free. Credit cards, medical bills, IRS tax problems, even student loan debt. Learn about free programs offered by the credit card companies, hospitals, and even the government that can help slash your debt. Call the Debt Destroyer now for free information. Call now. 877-360-0402. 877-360-0402. 877-360-0402. That's 877-360-0402.
Take a step back away from the hurried life you live today and relax. Take a stroll through the Covered Bridge Antique Mall. For the past 29 years, Covered Bridge Antique Mall has been the go-to shop for treasure and bargain hunters from the tri-state and beyond. Beautiful antiques, jewelry collectibles, and one-of-a-kind items. Covered Bridge Antique Mall, a truly unique shopping experience. 7508 Hamilton Avenue in the heart of historic Mount Healthy. 513-521-6739 or visit their Facebook page. Covered Bridge Antique Mall is open Tuesday through Sunday, 10 till 5, closed Monday, following all state recommended safety guidelines.
Oh, it's time for one of my favorite parts of the show. It's time for music history. And on this day, back in 1969, the year I graduated high school, Bob Dylan released his 9th studio album, Nashville Skyline, which embraced country music. With liner notes by Johnny Cash, who also appeared on the record. At the time of the release, it was dismissed by some critics as lightweight, but included this song, Lay Lady Lay, a major hit single for Mr. Dylan. The album also gave him his 4th UK #1 album. That's huge. And in 1974 on this day, Terry Jacks was at #1 on the UK singles chart with Season in the Sun. Jacks became the first Canadian to score a #1 since Paul Anka in 1957. The song, written in French by Belgian Jacques Brel, had English lyrics by poet Rod McEwen. Today in 1988, Dave Prater of soul duo Sam and Dave was killed when his car left the road and hit a tree in Syracuse, Georgia on his way to his mother's house in Osceola. He was 50 years old, but he recorded for Stax Records from 1965 to 1968. Hits included this one, Soul Man, and Hold On, I'm Coming. We played both of those songs. Today in 1988, American singer and songwriter Brooke Benton died at the age of 56. He scored over 20 U.S. top 40 singles in the late 50s and early 1960s. He scored hits such as It's Just a Matter of Time and Endlessly. And he made a comeback in 1970 when he had the number 4 hit, Rainy Night in Georgia, which was written by Tony Joe White. Tony Joe was an opening act for Waylon Jennings.
Really?
On the road, yeah. That was cool, yeah. That was a cool tour. Today in 1997, songwriter Mae Bourne Axton died at the age of 82 after drowning in her bath at her home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, after an apparent heart attack. Known as the Queen Mother of Nashville, she wrote over 200 songs, including co-writing credit on the Elvis Presley hit Heartbreak Hotel. She was the mother of country singer, songwriter Hoyt Axton. We've all heard of him. Today in 2009, Randy Kane, a founding member of U.S. soul group The Delphonics, died in his home in Maple Shade, New Jersey at the age of 63. The Philadelphia group, whose hits included La La Means I Love You, won an R&B Grammy in 1970 for their song Didn't I Blow Your Mind This Time, and chorus of Ready or Not by the Fugees sampled the Delphonics' in 1969 hit Ready or Not, Here I Come, Can't Hide from Love. Today, in 2016, Fleetwood Mac announced that Lindsey Buckingham had been fired from the band and would be replaced by Crowded House's Neil Finn and Mike Campbell, former lead guitarist of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, on their upcoming tour. Describing Lindsey's departure as bittersweet, Stevie Nicks stated, "Our relationship has always been volatile." You think?
That's an understatement.
Yeah. What a great group, though. And they kept on going. Here it is, the answer to the trivia question. Nobody got it. Born on this day in 1932, American singer-songwriter. His name is Carl Perkins, who had the 1956 #2 single, Blue Suede Shoes. Perkins' songs were recorded by Elvis Presley, the Beatles, and Johnny Cash. Paul McCartney claimed that if there were no Carl Perkins, there would be no Beatles. Perkins died on January 1998 at the age of 65. And there's a great YouTube concert with George Harrison, Eric Clapton, Ringo, Lee Rocker, hosted by Carl Perkins. Look it up. You'll be entertained for at least a half hour. So there you go. I had a blast researching these history notes for you, and I hope you got something out of it. I am called the Rock and Roll Realtor because I play with the greatest classic rock band, Bluestone Ivory. And you can see our full schedule at bluestoneivory.com. We'll be performing live at Keener Park on July the 9th. July the 30th, we're going to be at Sunset Beach Bar and Grill. August the 5th, here's the biggie, folks. The big show of the summer, Coney Island with J.D. Hughes, August the 5th. And at August the 14th, they're just dying to come and hear us at the Arlington Memorial Garden Cemetery. Hey, you laugh, but they've got a great stage. They got the lake behind us, and we draw 400 or 500 people. It's a fun concert.
Very nice.
It is. It's really cool. So put it on your calendar. If you are an active or retired from the military, we want to just say thank you. And there's some special programs to help you buy a house. So feel free. I feel very qualified having my military relocation professional certification to help buyers and sellers who are military, active, or retired. So call me at 513-777-2402. I'm just here to help you. So a couple things we didn't touch on last. Couple of safety. Well, we did talk about safety thing. When you have a yacht, it's the captain's decision, but everybody has to have their safety vests.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Any other safety tips?
Let's talk to the RVs and campers out there. One, it's somewhat comical, but it is common on RVs that have the automated steps. When you open or close the door, it pulls the steps in or out. there is always a button where you can lock those steps out. When you get to the campsite, it's best to do that, because if you're walking out the door in the morning and that step didn't come out quick, you may be wearing that coffee by the time you hit the ground. And it has happened before.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. My friend with a boat, I know to get in and out of the boat when you're in the middle of the lake swimming, and sometimes those ladders can fall off and they're gone.
Yes, they are not the most sturdy things on the back of those boats.
They're hard to get off and on with, so you might want to take a look at that. When is the best season to list a yacht or an RV for sale?
There's a lot of activity in the spring and the fall, and it does kind of coincide with the summer holidays. There's buyers right now that are gearing up and looking towards, I have Memorial Day plans.
Oh, okay.
We'll see some buyers after Memorial Day that went and visited friends, went out and they decide, I'm going to have something by the 4th of July, and then it kind of goes through there. Right now, from a seller's perspective, it's winter storage cleanup. And I did post this morning on my Facebook page.
Yes.
It's Your RV and Boat Guy, all spelled out. I posted a quick tip about cleaning and detailing using the slime that you made for your kids when they were little. Take a read. It's an interesting little detailer trick that I used.
See, I'm on your Facebook page right now. You've got a little thing about Kings Island. Oh, here it is. Yeah. Yep, I see it. Storage dust. Oh, yeah, I see that slime. How to make slime without glue. There you go.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
Yeah, basically you roll it up in a rope and tuck it along the edges of a console or things where all that storage dust has got in between the console and the edge there. Just lightly tap it in there, pull it up, and it pulls all that dust and dirt out of there, and you don't have to work with the cloth and the spray and stuff to try and
Well, you could use that in your car too.
Absolutely. I use it a lot.
How about that? I have to. My grandkids, they love their slime, and now they also have this sand.
Oh, yes.
Comes in a little box.
Yep, I have seen that as well.
And I find little clumps of sand on the floor and go, what in the world is that? It looks nasty. Oh, it's just some play sand. That's what happens when you get the grandkids. They rule the house. So, I bet you have some special technology that you use in marketing and helping buyers buy their yachts and RVs and boats.
Absolutely. We are a heavily technology-dependent company. Our headquarters are in Sarasota, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
There are roughly 200 of me in and around
all
the
over
country,
the country
that work remotely in their local markets to go out. I do my own photos on my listings and stuff. I go out and do a tour so I can do the write-up and things. But we absolutely have to rely on the technology. I mentioned I delivered a RV that a gentleman sold out of Harrison, Ohio yesterday to a gentleman in Michigan. We have to make sure that our technology allows that person in Michigan to be comfortable enough to make the 3.5-hour drive to look at an RV.
Yeah, wow. So, and you also recommend for buyers to have inspections done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The RV and camper industry has the RV or NRVIA.org. It's the National RV Inspectors Association. They do a great job. It's very similar to a home inspection.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the boat and yachting industry, there is a professional certification, a marine surveyor, and absolutely have them look over a boat before you buy it. They will, if nothing else, it will give you a list of priorities and going into the purchase, knowing what you're going to need to work on.
So you are Pop as a broker,
correct?
And what's the difference between having a dealer versus a broker?
In the broker model, just like you, I don't hold title to the inventory that I'm representing. So it is still, we are facilitating a transaction between two private parties. We have financing options. We have all those things that come along with that, making that purchase. But I don't hold the title. And the big thing to remember about that is that also means I don't get to set the asking price.
Okay. Yeah.
I can counsel my sellers where they should be, but they don't always listen.
Yeah. I mean, like car dealers, they actually own the cars that are on the lot.
Correct. So they are empowered to make that deal or what is the bottom dollar. I have to put in an offer, and we negotiate with the seller and buyer.
And in real estate, we have agency rules and regulations to follow and disclose. As a realtor, I can decide to work. If I work with a seller, I represent the seller, so I have some fiduciary responsibilities. A lot of people don't understand that. And if you're a buyer, you want to have a buyer's agent who will represent you. And we have to follow some strict rules, and you probably have to do the same thing.
We absolutely do, and they vary by state, just like yours does.
Yep. You got it. So, why do buyers choose to work with a broker rather than working with a dealer? They feel more comfortable?
Oftentimes they do once we have the conversation. Not a lot of people are aware that a brokerage model is available in the boat and RV space, and that's what I'm trying to do is get that word out there. But in the end, most of our sellers are realizing anywhere from about 80 to about 105% of the NADA book value of their boat or RV when they sell it through a brokerage.
Mm-hmm.
A dealer is probably going to be in the 60% plus or minus. In fairness to that dealer, I don't have a sales lot. I don't have a staff that I need to maintain and things, so
right.
I can operate on smaller margins.
There you go. Gotcha. So look him up on Facebook, facebook.com/Your RV and Boat Guy. That's YOURRVANDBOAT Guy, GUY. And it's interesting page. You're adding stuff on there every day. That's really cool.
Thank you.
You betcha. I'll bookmark that and follow you as I have.
Kind of my new announcement for this show. I just put that show up, or that page up earlier this week.
Yeah, we friended each other, so I'll be able to upload this show to
Very good.
your Facebook page.
Thank you very much.
All right. The Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour is brought to you today by Pop Yachts and RVs. Mr. Chad Detmer, 513-295-8278 or popyachts.com. Stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. Next, we're going to have a visit with Bill Kerrigan of the Dragonfly Foundation. You're listening to the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour on WDJO, 1480 AM, now on FM 995 and 107.9.
Pop offers buyers and sellers an alternative to a private or dealer sale or purchase of RVs and boats. Pop can get competitive prices for RVs and boats versus a fraction of that on a dealer trade-in. Pop cultivates and maintains an active buyer and seller community so they can potentially deliver multiple buyers and sellers. Pop currently has over 5,000 boats and RVs available for sale throughout the U.S. Pop assists their sellers with transactional details around titles, taxes, and sales-related documents. Pop can also provide recommendations for funding sources in the RV and boat industry. If buying or selling a boat or RV is in your plans, contact Chad Detmer today at Pop Yachts and RVs at 513-295-8278. That's 513-295-8278. Or visit poprvs.com or popyachts.com. That's poprvs.com or popyachts.com.
Jackson Brown. Live in concert in Cincinnati. Jackson Brown at the Andrew J. Brady Music Center, Friday, June 24th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com and BradyMusicCenter.com. The Grammy-nominated album Downhill From Everywhere is available now. Check more at JacksonBrown.com.
When you need the expertise of a top-notch plumbing company, it's Zinn's Plumbing you ought to call. Oh, they may be at the bottom of the alphabetical listing, but the service and pricing of Zinn's Plumbing puts them at the head of the class. They don't keep you waiting for hours on end on appointment calls. Zinn's Plumbing works within a 2-hour time frame, so you don't waste your time waiting for a service technician. And when a Zinn's plumber comes to solve your problem, you can feel confident the job will be done right. With Zinn's Plumbing, you'll always know what the cost will be before they start. They bill on a flat rate basis instead of an inefficient hourly billing system. Zinn's state-of-the-art trucks carry thousands of parts to complete your job with no needless delays. Well-trained trained professional plumbing technicians and courteous customer service are the hallmark of Zinn's Plumbing. It's a local family business proudly serving Greater Cincinnati since 1976. They can probably schedule your appointment today. Give Zinn's Plumbing a call at 681-2501. 681-2501. Zinn's Plumbing.
This is Anita Berry, your Medicare plan coach. Are you turning 65 soon, retiring from work, or just received Medicare due to a disability? The options can be quite confusing. I am a local independent broker representing many companies. I will help you navigate the Medicare process from start to finish, educating you on the various options available. I do not charge a fee. Please call me at 513-739-6028 or visit my website, anita@yourmedicareplancoach.com.
Can I ask him?
Get on. Let's rock the house.
Hey, you're listening to the Rock and Roll Real Estate Hour with yours truly, Gary Rossignol. I am your senior real estate specialist with RE/MAX Preferred Group. The Dragonfly Foundation supports pediatric cancer families and patients by building a network that connects Dragonfly families to each other and the community. Providing programs that enhance quality of life, enhancing programs and partner with Cincinnati's Children's Hospital. This gentleman is on the board of directors of the Dragonfly Foundation. He is their #1 cheerleader and their #1 fan for years. This is my friend, Mr. Bill Kerrigan. Good morning, Bill.
Hey, good morning, Gary. Top of the morning.
You got it, my friend. Hey, we got to shout out and say thank you to Ralph and John at Paxton's Grill and Ramsey's Trailside. They raised, get this, drum roll, please, $2,225.20 for the Dragonfly Foundation.
Very cool.
Isn't that neat?
Just unbelievable. They've done this 5 years in a row now, Gary. During all March Madness games, they donate a percentage of their sales back to Dragonfly, and this year was a record year. As you said, over $2,200 raised, and it's just can't believe their generosity and their community-minded leadership over at Paxton's and Ramsey's. They're just great people.
All right, so why did they do that? What sets the Dragonfly Foundation apart from all the other nonprofits that are out there?
Well, first thing I should tell you, Gary, is that they support a number of nonprofits throughout the year, including Cancer Free Kids and others. But the Dragonfly Foundation, I think their mission really resonates with Ralph and John because, your heart goes out to any family facing a diagnosis of pediatric cancer. And as you know, Gary, you've been involved with us for 11 years plus. That uproots a family immediately. They have to drop everything that they're doing, often take leave or furlough from work, and the family has to get quickly to Cincinnati Children's, and they often begin treatment the same day that they arrive. So it is extremely disruptive to the family, extremely nerve-wracking. And the Dragonfly Foundation, we're there not to cure cancer. We're there to support the families, the moms, the dads, the siblings, and the patients as they go through what is probably the most difficult test they're ever going to face.
Yeah, I've seen it in person, and I've had the families in here on our Christmas show and asked them what's the most memorable thing that the Dragonfly Foundation has done. And they said when they show up at the hospital and there's this blue bag with everything that we didn't think that we were going to need in that blue bag, and then we get the follow-up by volunteers telling us we've been there, we've done that, it's going to be okay.
And they do
That's the
wonderful
idea.
work.
You know that.
Just absolutely wonderful work, yes.
Yeah. So we just had a little fundraiser at the Texas Roadhouse. We had a group of 20 of us there this past Wednesday, and the Texas Roadhouse in Westchester will kick back 10% of your total bill to the Dragonfly Foundation that evening. And you know what I did, Bill, is I went to Kroger's with my Kroger Community Rewards and bought a couple $100 worth of Texas Roadhouse gift cards and got 4 times the gas points, which made Mary Jo very happy.
Planning ahead, I like that.
and then because we bought on our Kroger Community Rewards card, a percentage of that went to the Dragonfly Foundation. Then we went to Texas Roadhouse and used them to buy our meal. That's planning.
You're working all the angles.
We're trying.
You're working all the angles, Gary.
And then I also printed out some more. I did some networking, too. We had a bunch of tables around us. I go, you know what? Have you ever heard of Dragonfly? Oh, yeah, we have heard of it. I says, well, here, turn this in to your server when you check out. I says, 10%. You won't have to pay another dime extra, but 10% will go direct. Oh, yeah, we'll do that. So I handed a bunch of them out to the
Very
tables.
cool. Very good job.
By the way, I'm the rock and roll realtor. Got to network at every chance you can. But you and I both know, Bill, that I like the Amazon Smiles. So if you're going to buy anything on Amazon, don't just go to Amazon Prime. Sign up for Amazon Smiles, and there you can designate the group that you want to donate to, and I choose the Dragonfly Foundation. So a very small percentage of everything I spend on Amazon goes to the Dragonfly Foundation. So, but Bill, thank you very much for coming on, for supporting us as much as you do. If you're listening right now and you want to help the Dragonfly Foundation, just text the word WINGS15 to 71777, and you can donate anywhere from $5, $50, $100, $500, whatever makes you feel good about helping the Dragonfly Foundation. We're just about out of time for today. Thanks to all who tuned in, and my guest, Chad Detmer. Thank you for coming down, Chad.
Thanks for having me, Gary. I appreciate it.
When I go out on my daughter's boat, I'm going to think about you.
Very good.
Please remember, I am a realtor, certified residential specialist, and a senior real estate specialist, and also a military relocation professional. I've got all the initials, and that's so I can help you better. Just call me at 513-777-2402. Don't forget to hug your kids, call your parents, kiss your spouse every day, and wash your hands constantly, and stay safe. Our ending song is dedicated to Wesley Adams and Max Gunnerman, who are stepping into the studio next, live on the Car Tech Show. This is Bluestone Ivory performing the hit single by the Ides of March, Vehicle.
Well, I'm a friendly stranger in the black sedan. Won't you hop inside my car? I got pictures, candy, I'm a lovable man. I'll take you to the nearest bar. I'm your vehicle, baby. I'll take you anywhere you wanna go. I'm your vehicle, woman. By now I'm sure you know that I love you, I need you, I want you, got to have your child. Great God in heaven, you know I love you. Oh, you know I do. Well, I'm a friendly stranger in the black sedan. Won't you hop inside my car? I got pictures, candy, I'm a lovable man. I'll take you to the nearest bar. I'm your vehicle, babe. I'll take you anywhere you wanna go. I'm your vehicle, woman. By now I'm sure you know that I love you, I need you, I want you, got to have you. Great God in heaven, you know I love you. Oh, you know I do. You know I love you, I need you, I want you, got to have your child. Great God in heaven, you know I love you.
Thanks for another great show, and if you have any real estate question, just call me at 513-777-2402 or go to rockandrollrealestateagent.com.
Thanks to all my sponsors who make this show possible, as well as Chris and Miles Beersford, brokers of RE/MAX Preferred Group. A special thanks to WDJO station manager Gary Stevens and my producer Dan Gettelfinger. I would also like to shout out to all my clients, friends, family, fans of Bluestone Ivory, the Dragonfly Foundation, and especially my wife Mary Jo. Until next week, keep knocking on my rockin' houses. So long for now.
The preceding program was a paid